Here's the sponsorship math. If you can't show you'd return 10 times the £7,000 sponsorship cost, no UK company will even look at you in 2025. What I mean is, you're getting sponsored with £7,000, and then you can't show that there will be a return, like 10 times of that, then you're going to be seen as a cost, not a value. Now, if you're chasing a tech job in the UK on a visa, here's the truth. It's not about the passion or the certificate you have to present or blasting out 200 applications every month that gets you the job. Sponsorship in 2025 comes down to one thing: value. If you don't meet the math, skills, roles, or salary, you don't get the visa. Now, let's break this down in detail. Hi, my name is Omomi Victoria Samson, co-founder Amdari and a career pivot coach. In the last 8 months, I have been able to help over 1,000 tech professionals across the UK transition into tech by gaining real-world work experience. And I've also reviewed over 1,000 CVs, conducted over 300 candidate interviews, and I know exactly what recruiters want. And that's why today I'll be sharing with you how you can actually get the sponsorship math right and make yourself that person who is seen as a problem solver and not a cost. Let's get straight into it. Now, let's start from the very first step, the hard math of sponsorship. Does your role qualify? Many tech roles still qualify, but this is changing from time to time, especially as at 2025, that's 22nd of July, it's changed. The Home Office raised the skill threshold to RQF level 6. Degree level, so removing many mid-level roles from eligibility unless on the temporary shortage or immigration salary list. I'm going to attach the link to that so you can read more about it. So the salary threshold now starts much higher. So if your career path is not meeting that salary threshold, this might be the time for you to start having a rethink. We'll talk about those ones that meet the salary threshold. Now, option A, which is the standard, £41,700 or 100% off going rate. I have attached the link to this particular resource to the description box. Now, in the UK, the going rate for a job refers to the minimum salary threshold set by the government for a specific occupation under the skilled worker visa system. You can read more about that, okay? But let's get straight into why we're here today. Now, the second option, we've talked about option A. Now, option B is majorly non-STEM PhD, which is £37,500, and that's also 90% off going rate. Option C, STEM PhD, which is £33,000. That's 80 to 100% discount. Again, just read more about it in the description that I attached or the link that I attached to my description. Now, the new entrant discount for recent grads or under 26 can be lower, but still must meet the £33,000 rate, right, or threshold in this case. So an example is a data analyst role that once qualified at £26,000 now must pay at least £41,700 or go by the job's medium salary, which is higher. So applications below this are likely to be refused for sponsorship. So before I move to step 2, it's very important for you to understand that math and also understand the actual threshold that works for your career path. Now, step 2, which is skills that matter versus skills that do not matter. So we've talked about the salary threshold. Now we're talking about the actual skills that matter. If you have a skill set that doesn't matter, that isn't sponsored, you're just wasting time. So which one matters in 2025? Real world delivery, which is pipeline that saves money, reducing Azure compute cost by £3,000 per month, right? Or cloud infrastructure like AWS Glue, Azure Data Factory, production ETL with Spark, and the likes. Then we have for cyber roles, for example, like implementing ISO 27001 controls, GDPR tech audits, or let's move on to the Agile category, which is the Agile project management. So for Agile delivery, they want something like Jira board management, sprint planning, stakeholder communication. If you're able to reflect all of this in your application, it's easier for them to see you as somebody worth sponsoring, right? So what recruiters dismiss is majorly when you have basic stuff like what everybody have in their CV: proficient in Excel, good communication skill. It's basic, it's generic, everybody does that. Or unverified certificates from random sites unless industry recognized. So it's very important for you to bear something in mind. Step 1, the salary threshold, do you meet it? Step 2 is the skills that matter. Do you have it? Now, instead of saying something like took a course in data science, completed a training in cybersecurity, you can say something like built a Bayesian churn model deployed in Azure Machine Learning that improved retention by 15%, generating an estimated £150,000 annual revenue. That's perfect, right? We've talked about step 1, we've talked about step 2. Let's move to step 3. Roles that actually get sponsored. We have high demand roles that get sponsored. Are you already in those fields? Have you taken a course in those fields? What are the fields? I'm going to list them, but not limited to the ones that I'm going to list. We have data engineer, cybersecurity professionals, data analysts, data scientists, project managers, SOC analysts, GRC professionals, as well as ethical hackers, business analysts. So these roles are sponsored. So you need to be very proficient in tools that are also relevant. AWS, Azure DevOps engineers, cybersecurity professionals. I've listed all of them, right? The roles that are not really relevant are IT support, junior data entry, admin roles, unless on shortage list or graduate level, right, with clear evidence of high impact, emphasis on high impact. Now, the key takeaway from this is you need to stop spending time on low paid or ineligible roles. It's a waste of time, right? Make sure that you consider all of the career paths that I have mentioned. Let's move on to step 4, the strategy to beat the odds. Target companies with sponsorship license, right? COS, Certificate of Sponsorship. They are listed publicly on gov.uk. Visit the website to read more about it. You also need to build a proof of impact. What project have you worked on? Do you have a UK relevant case study? For example, developing a joint hospital DGID pilot that demonstrated 5,000 or 500k pounds in annual efficiency savings. Very important. And where do you find resources like this? Where do you find data sets or projects like this? Check out Amdari. I'm going to attach the link in the description box. Just click on it and you get to speak to an expert from Amdari, right? You also need to rewrite your CV in UK language. I have a video on what we mean when we say rewrite your CV, optimize your LinkedIn in UK language. You can watch that. All you have to do is make sure you subscribe and you would have access to all these videos. Now, rewrite your CV or LinkedIn in UK language. What I mean is replace improved processes with saved £200,000 per year by automating feeds to NHS. Importantly, speaking in pounds, speaking in percentages, and the likes. Then ensure your CV and LinkedIn has links to your portfolio. Because how do they see what you've done before? Then you also need to stop spraying and praying. You need to be strategic. Build a recruiter engagement tracker on your Google Sheet where you have list of columns of companies, recruiter name, last contact, and status update of whether they've called you back for an interview or not. You need to track all of this so that you're not just doing things basically and just randomly. Now, you can also shoot your shot. I have tried this, it worked for me. Send a DM to a recruiter in an industry you want to work in or in a company you want to work in, right? Send a DM and compose it very well in such a way that pitches your value. Like, hi, my name is this. I saw a gap in your mobile analytics pipeline. I have built a similar ETL that cut processing from 3 hours to 10 minutes. Can I share how this might apply to your company? You can share that with them or go ahead and attach the link, right? So this method turns you from being just another immigrant who is trying to get a job in the UK to somebody who is sponsorship worthy and also job ready. So you have to be proactive in your job search. You have to be very proactive. So here's the math of sponsorship. Your role must qualify. First things first. Then your skill must be proven, right? Have proof of impact. And then your salary must clear the threshold. If not, it is a non-starter. Then stop wasting time. Yield proof, real proof, right? Not random projects with real business context, and then chase only the roles that can pay to sponsor you. So if you want to learn more on how to get started or how to do this, I would like for you to book a clarity session with an expert at Amdari on how to gain that actual experience that gets you sponsored, that actual experience that comes with UK reference letter, because recruiters in the UK trust recruiters in the UK. So get sponsorship, get reference, and get all you need. Just book a clarity call. The link is attached. Speak to someone at Amdari and you'll be glad you did. Ciao.